Welcome to Creatively Exposed, a podcast and safe space for Black and marginalized creatives to empower, educate, and uplift you through the final product of self and creation. Bring a homie, share with a homie, and enjoy the show. Welcome to Season 3. This 1 month break, I have felt it, but also it's called a break, but that's not what I did. I am so happy to be here. I've been thinking, I'm like, what is season 3 going to feel like? And I guess we will go through this journey together. I do have some interviews that I still haven't published yet, so those will be rolling in. I already know how we're ending this month, and that is going to be super dope. And it's season 3. And what I'm thinking is that there will be like 20 episodes and then a break. I think that helps keep me from burning out just with content, and we're in a different time. It's legit a time of not knowing what the hell is going on. Hopefully, there has been some positive in all of this heaviness. I definitely have found my way into virtual therapy because it is heavily needed. And let's talk about what's going on now. And I say now, but this has been ongoing, right? Social justice, the lack of legality of being Black in the world, because the United States is just maybe louder and more adamant about it, but like anti-Blackness is everywhere. It's rampant. It's the most successful thing that the colonizers have done. So here we are. What I can mostly say is that in the heartbreak and grief that Black people don't get a break from, I also feel hope. And it's a new hope because we've had a movement, but nothing like this. You know, the media isn't covering how protesting has not really stopped. It hasn't stopped. And that to me is major because they haven't stopped. We haven't stopped. We have continued. But it's also disheartening because there's a lot of inner work that needs to be done with how do I move forward in the new life that I want to create. And so I'm really grateful to poets and poetry because as undervalued sometimes as that may be, I have found my answers there. There's this poetry festival that I've been checking into, and I haven't been able to check like every single show out, but the shows that I have checked into have been worth every penny that I've been able to invest in it, because I think it's an investment. There are workshops, awful good writers, and Sonia Renee Taylor gave a workshop about basically building the world that we want to live in and shape and create. And that's kind of where I've refound my vim, spark, whatever you want to call it. Because grief is heavy. And it's there's no easy way to move through and within the continued grief that is placed on us as Black people. And so, if anyone disagrees, this may not be the podcast for you. But I just want to put that out there, you know. In this silence of June, a lot has happened and it will not be ignored or silenced. So, round this way, we are about social justice. Me, myself, my mic, and I. I'm here for the uplifting, the entertaining, hopefully entertaining, right? The support of Black people and marginalized people, but first, Black people, because some people may not get it, but we're at the bottom most of the time. And I don't feel like there's more need to explain that. Check the news, see what's going around you outside of your community if you are not a Black person. And I'm including everyone. I'm talking to Latinos. That's been really ugly to see. Sometimes there's solidarity and sometimes it's a weird confusion of like, I'm not Black. Yeah, I ain't gonna do all that with y'all. Wherever you stand in it. You know, you don't have to at me about it, but that's where I'm at. You know, there's Black everywhere, mostly everywhere. And especially in the places where slavery was a thing. And so, if your thing is separating yourself from history, then that's your business. I'm tired of that. We're not doing that. Anyway, season 3. I feel like a whole different person. Like, whoever I was in May, I don't know if we're the same. This, between COVID and quarantining and being home, has been very interesting. This month I have written a lot of poems. I'm working on submitting my short story that is due in 11 days. You know, we're almost there. We're almost there. I've decided to change things around and hoping I do it justice. Because, you know, to create a world, right? And to convey what you want to say can be challenging because, like, I see the whole picture in my head and it's like this dope movie. And then when I get to the page, I'm like, what are words? I am confusion. So that's kind of where I'm at. I've done some poetry events, some open mics. I might be signing up for one today. It would be today when you're listening. For right about now. And we'll see what happens. We'll see what unfolds. Because it's legit, like, what number quarter is this? The third quarter? Yeah, I think it's the third quarter. Yeah. Okay, so we are in the third quarter of the year. It is July. It is July. And I'm looking forward to creating more. I think that I've been able to see what I want to create and figure out how to move towards that day by day. I am now a part of a collective called the Estuary Collective, gang gang. And my aim with this collective is to continue expanding what is a safe space. It's been a storm of seeing all of these structures that have been gatekeeping and have racial bias tendencies preventing Black people to grow within these spaces. That also even includes the poetry space, the literary space. Publishing paid me is a hashtag on Twitter, and you see the disparities of what people are being paid. $15,000 for Roxane Gay's Bad Feminist versus unknown man paid $800,000. So, y'all, don't let anybody tell you you can't be creative and make it. Because the money is there. I think it's just there are opportunities that need to be created by ourselves. And, you know, people care about Black people for now. So seize the moment, but also be discerning, because there are so many. Now it's overwhelming. Now I've been seeing calls and seeing all these different opportunities, and I'm like, this is dope, but like, will you still be here 2 months from now? And so don't burn out. I know I was kind of feeling the pressure because my biggest form of protest is in writing. It's in sharing my thoughts. It's in forming this new world that I want us to be in. It's been hard. I'm not gonna lie. It's been really complicated to keep having to mourn and lose people who look like you, who feel like family. And I've taken solace within my words and the magic of having Black and brown therapists. I don't think I'd be well without that. So be gentle with yourself. I mean, if there's anything that this pandemic has taught me, is self-preservation, and protest can come in many ways, and we all have our own role to creating and being a part of a movement to not only matter, because like some of the signs have said, that's basic, but be able to thrive, to live peacefully, to experience joy without the persecution of it. We have to basically world build and continue building in unison to that world, and everybody has a role, right? We have our people that are on the ground. We have writers, we have artists, we have politicians, we have financial minded folks. There's so much that we can do, and I think sometimes I've felt the need to do this like humongous thing or try to save everyone, even if it's energetically. And I can't. And there was a fortune cookie, which I absolutely love, that it came from a random fortune cookie that said, you can't save everyone, but you can save someone. And I think that can even begin with yourself. It is Minority Health Month, or something to that extent. Anyway, that's what's on Instagram. And so